Hey guys, welcome back to Time Machine Scale Models. Well, it occurred to me recently that I've been doing a lot of builds, and I have a lot of builds planned that have decals that accompany them. Now you guys know that I just finished the Bobby Allison Miller High Life Buick Regal over here, and that was a GMP kit, so I had to order decals, and I ordered those decals through Mike's Decals. They were power slides, and they turned out pretty good, as you guys saw. Well, after I finished the Bobby Allison build, I decided I was going to do a Davey Allison build, and I was going to build his 91 through 93 Haviland Thunderbird. And I opened up that kit, and that kit was sealed. Had never been opened, and I observed the decals, and I wasn't very happy with the decals. As I highlighted in that video, the decals on the left are the box stock decals. Now, these are the decals that I received today. They're power slide decals from Mike's Decals, and you can see the difference. Over here, the colors are not quite what they should be. They look more like a pinkish, maybe a magenta, and a regular yellow. Over here, you can see that they're the high visibility or fluorescent colors. The orange is fluorescent. The Haviland is fluorescent yellow, and the striping is the regular yellow highlighted with the fluorescent orange. And not only that, over here you can see the expanded contingency decals, because they give you the options to be able to build a 91, 92, or 93 Haviland T-Bird. And they were a little bit different as far as contingencies and sponsors were concerned. So you can see here. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for any length of time, or you can go back in my archives of videos, you can see the beginnings of the 66 GT350H. Now, back when I initially painted that, and I reached out to Keith Marks Decals, and I got a set of Keith Marks decals, and I put them on, and they laid flawlessly. Okay, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have to use any setting solutions or anything, just warm water, and they laid down like butter. Now, you guys know, if you've ever built this kit, that everybody experiences problems laying that decal around this hood scoop here. Okay, it could be a nightmare for you. The Keith Marks decals did not do that. They just laid really well. And some of you guys are going to say, but Robbie, you painted those stripes on the 66, and you're not wrong. I did. And the reason why I did that was because initially when I had this car painted and decaled, I cleared it. I was using Testors Extreme Lacquer Wet Coat Clear. And what ended up happening was the clear coat started crinkling the decals. Okay, it started cracking them and they looked like crap, so I had to strip the car. So other people reached out to me and sent me kit decals, and I knew the kit decals were not going to lay very well. I built this car. This isn't the first time I built this car. I built this car a couple different times, as well as the blue and white one, and the decals never quite lay correctly. So that's why I went ahead and I ended up painting the decals on and then clear coating over them. But some of you have also done the 69, the Rebel 69 Z28 RS. And again, around this cowl hood scoop, you have problems getting the decals to lay. So I reached out to Keith Marks when I did this, and by the way, this is the first car that I ever airbrushed, and I don't think I did it too bad of a job. But I reached out to Keith Marks, and I got some of his decals as well. And his decals include the scripts for the body and everything. Now, I never sanded off the molded in scripts. What I did was I laid the decals right over top of them, right? And you can see they look like they are the scripts that should be there. Back here as well. Okay. So we have Nick over at Old School Modeler, and he just got done building the Bandit Trans Am, and he did a really good job after having some difficulties. And I was watching his video, and I noticed that he had a little bit of a hard time with the decals. Well, I happen to have that kit in the stash, and I told him, I said, I have aftermarket decals for that kit, but I want to show you why. So the first thing that you're going to notice on these decals, you have one option and one option only. Your option is to paint that car black. Why is that? Because the bird is black. Now, on a real Trans Am, all this black that you see between the feathers on the bird and between the gold lines, the gold striping on the car, that's all body color on a real Trans Am. And also, the second thing that you'll notice, nowhere on this does it say Pontiac, oh, except for one here, does it say Trans Am. So again, I reached out to Keith Marks then when I bought the Bandit Trans Am, and I got his sheet of decals. And the first thing you're going to notice is it has a Trans Am here, right? Okay. But not only does it have the Trans Am, it has options for the 400, the 455. You look here, you have the 455 HO decals and everything, and this is the bird. You'll notice that there is no color in the bird. So, if you don't feel like building the Bandit Trans Am and say you want to build it, I don't know, maybe paint it Pappy Red or something, you can do that because your decals are not going to dictate what color you do the body. So, I'm not saying to never use box stock decals. Some people have great success using box stock decals. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that there are aftermarket decals out there for most of these cars. You just have to find them. Keith Marks is usually my go-to for muscle cars and stuff like that. MikesDecals.com is my go-to when I want to do NASCAR kits or any kind of racing in general. They have drag racing as well. They have other liveries. And of course, if you're doing like the Ford GTs or stuff like that, there's all kinds of aftermarket companies that do all the Le Mans cars, etc., etc. So any race car that you want a livery for, I'm sure you can find it. Anyway, guys, that's all I got in this video. I hope it was informative for you, and you can see that there are other options for decals other than your box stock decals. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Happy modeling.